Hi, my name is Erin Murphy, and welcome to my presentation on cognitivism. Today I'm going to be focusing mainly on the information processing theory, which is a clear example that demonstrates how mental processes operate. Bradley, from 2012, states that the executive control system is proposed to oversee the processes to retrieve information. The three stages of memory are your sensory memory, where recognition and attention is key. Your working memory, where rehearsing and chunking information together aids in creating those memories. And your long-term memory, where episodic, semiotic, and procedural processes occur. You'll see a diagram of information processing model. This shows us that your sensory memory, which is unlimited, but only for 2 to 3 seconds. Your working memory, which can hold 5 to 9 items, but for only 5 to 20 seconds. And your long-term memory, which can hold huge amounts of information, anywhere from a day to a lifetime. My beliefs as a teacher are that students learn at different rates and in different ways, and it is our job as educators and teachers to recognize how each student learns and aid them to reach their potential. Students deserve the right to a safe and welcoming classroom. We as educators and teachers don't always know what's happening to the child outside the classroom. So it is our responsibility to make each child feel welcome to step inside the classroom and safe. Students should want to attend school, and as educators and teachers, we need to encourage the enjoyment and of gaining an education. I'm now going to show you some examples of the information processing theory and how it may work. My example 1 is going to show you how children can associate sound with image. For the example, I am using the dog. So when children are using their sensory memory, they could recognize that if they hear a sound, like a bark, they can associate it with the animal. When they're using their working memory, they learn that each animal has its own sound. For example, the dog goes woof, the cow goes moo, cow goes meow, bird goes tweet. They can associate that each animal has its own sound. And you can chunk those all together, knowing that animals sound, yes. People talk, yes. Once they know all of this, it gets stored in their long-term memory, and they can recall on those memories whenever they need them. My next example is going to be a gymnastic skill that we're going to focus on. It's more teacher-guided. We're going to be focusing on the clear hip part of the sequence. Okay, so the gymnast is going to do a couple of skills connected. We're focusing on one. It's the one where she spins around the bar in a circle motion. Okay, so I'm going to play the first video. She goes skip. Cast, this is a skill to circle, and she comes off the bar. Okay, so we're looking at the circle skill. It's called a clear hip. As the name states, you go around the bar where your hips are clear, so they're not touching. Okay, so as we watch it again, as she casts into it, her feet are higher than the bar, but they're not horizontal, which means she's not going to have a lot of power coming into this skill. She drops her shoulders quite late on the way around. And if she drops her shoulders late, it means that her wrists are going to shift late on the way around. Okay, so they're only shifting here, which is really, really late, which means she's not going to be able to push against the bar. And as we continue around. So because she's pushing late with her hands, she's not reaching above horizontal out of it. Okay, we'll watch it again in normal pace. You'll see how late her wrists shift. Shoulders drop late around, wrist shifts late, can't push against the bar. Okay, I would film this for her, bring her aside. We're going to watch it together, and I'm going to state that all these things happen. She's going to do the skill again herself, and she'll be able to use her sensory memory and recognize that these are the things that she is doing incorrect, and she'll be able to make those changes. When we use her working memory, she's going to know that she has to drop her shoulders earlier so she can wrist shift earlier. We're going to practice this, and it's going to take some time for her to understand. So the higher she gets her cast into it, like if she's at horizontal now, if she can get above horizontal, she's going to have a lot more force coming into it. She's going to make it a lot easier to drop her shoulders and wrist shift. So she can push against the bar and get back to that same high cast shape before. She'll be able to use the chunking part of her working memory or short-term memory to realize that similar skills on other apparatuses are the same. So a clear hip circle, which is what she's doing right now on the bar, is almost exactly the same as a backward roller handstand on the floor. Once she has attained and made these changes and made these corrections to her skill, we'll be able to notice that she's made some changes. So let's have a look at the second example. So she's practiced, she's made these changes. She goes kip, cast, look at how high it is because she pushes against the bar. She can drop her shoulders earlier, wrist shift earlier. And she's able to make it a whole lot higher and more powerful and dynamic. Watch it again, and you'll be able to notice again. Big cast, drop shoulders, wrist shifts late. So she shifts her wrist right at the top of the skill when she's on top of the bar again, which is a massive, massive correction to make in a short amount of time. Once it's ingrained in her muscle memory, it's locked into her long-term memory as well. So she'll be able to associate the two, like this skill, the clear to handstand, as well as her back roller handstand on the floor, and chunk them together and know that they're the same. Doing it this way is also more procedural, and I know that a lot of gymnasts work in the procedural way. They know that there's an order, there's a sequence, and it works a whole lot better for them to understand. So the information processing theory works well in sport as well as in the classroom. In conclusion, all students do learn at different rates and at different ways. The information processing theory is one that I would personally use within my classroom, as I'm already so familiar with it, as I use it regularly with my gymnasts daily.